What up, world? Welcome to a new episode of the Brandon Janeau Show. As you know, I am Brandon Janeau, clearly. Um, clearly. And as you also know, if you have listened to any episodes, shout out to my family at Urban Boulevard, blvd.co. That is the company's social media pages. Go there, find some apparel. If you like apparel, then you go to the website, Urban Boulevard, blvd.us. And then you buy that apparel. And then you have the code at the bottom. Type in the code Brandon.30. That's Brandon.30. Yep, that sign up there. Yep, that the big ass face. That name in gold letters. Um, and I hope you guys enjoy this episode. Man, this is 199. Yep, episode 199 of my podcast, and I've been scratching my head trying to figure out what I want to talk about for these next three episodes. I actually wanted to do my top 10 list Tuesday, but things happen, life happens. Totally understand. Love my family still to this day, no matter what. But we didn't do one, so had to come up with a new strategy, and this is the strategy: do three episodes by myself. Why not? Just did one, and this is 199. And I'm gonna try to record 200 probably tonight and get it over and done with, get all these episodes over and done with. But let's get into it. Sorry, excuse me by the way. So let's get into it. So man. So uh there's been a lot of things going on, particularly in the one thing I love the most. I love comedy. Love comedy. I watch YouTube all day on YouTube. I'm just watching. If it's not boxing, then it's always comedy. That's my preference on YouTube. Um, just because it kills a lot of situations. I like to laugh. It keeps me from crying, as I say on my show. My brother RC. Shout out to RC. Um, uh, and we've talked about this on our show, Dark Therapy Sessions. Me and my brother RC, because he loves comedy too. But what is going on in comedy right now is a funny feeling. So if you don't know, which is crazy as hell, I started doing a podcast because of um the radio personality Charlemagne the God, and he has a podcast called The Brilliant Idiots with another person I used to watch on Guy Code on MTV2, Andrew Schultz, and started listening to Brilliant Idiots podcast, and been almost a decade since I've been a fan. Um, and so been a fan of those guys for 2 years, and I listened to the episodes and watched the YouTube videos, and I pretty much got into podcasting because of that podcast. So Andrew Schultz is a comedian, very funny comedian, and he has been saying for about a year and a half, maybe 2 years, that he was doing a comedy special for this network, a streaming service, pretty much. And um, it was called the Infamous Special. And long story short, this week he revealed that he sent the special to the streaming service, and the streaming service told him that he would need to cut out some jokes that they deemed inappropriate, or at least edit some of the jokes that they felt was inappropriate. And he told them to pretty much fuck off. So, which which is a very incredible thing to do, by the way. Um, and he says that they told him that, and he told them, "Okay, well, give me my fucking special back." And out of his own life savings, he had to buy his own fucking special back, which sounds fucking asinine. That the man that has actually created the art has to buy his shit back from a fuck streaming service because you motherfuckers want to control comedy. That shit sounds dumb to me. That's just me. Maybe it's a bunch of us, but to me, that shit sounds very stupid. Anyway, and there's another comedian that I've been watching, and I've been watching for a while. Uh, Ali Sadiq, comedian out here in Houston. Been watching him for a while. My first time watching him was Mitchell. If you know anything about that particular comedy bit that he did uh for Comedy Central, it's one of the most eye-opening but yet funniest shit I've ever heard in my life. Mitchell is one of my favorite ones. Everybody loves Mexican have on boots, but I love Mitchell because Mitchell was the first one I ever saw. And that shit was so crazy. And and he has a special on YouTube called The Domino Effect. And I've been watching the clips, but now I finally have seen. I watched it. I started watching it today. I'm actually after this. I'm actually gonna watch it again. Watch the whole thing. But come to find out, he also gave that to a streaming service, and the streaming service said, I don't know if they told him the same thing they told Andrew, but things came around and he was like, man, fuck that, give me my damn special back, give my fucking special back. And he put it on YouTube, and I would tell anybody go watch it because it's funny as shit. If you like real, true storytelling comedy, then he's one of the best to do it, and go watch it. And I laugh every time I'm watching this shit because it's so fucking funny, but it's so fucking truthful too. Because it's his story. He's telling us the truth about him, and it's funny as shit. And you know it's funny because I played him up in the car with my mom, and she's dying laughing. Like it's that type of vibe. And then I think about like a Dave Chappelle who gets paid from a Netflix to be his authentic self, to be who he is. And Netflix would take the bullets for what he says on his comedy specials. And I think also just recently, I think I want somebody else was just getting shot at, getting I want to say, well, yeah, getting kind of like trying to get canceled. A lot of people like they need to cancel him for what he said. I can't fucking remember the comedian just recently. It was a fucking big name. I can't remember. I don't know if it's I don't think it was Bill Burr. Was it Louis C.K.? I think it was Louis C.K. Somebody was getting like super dragged through the mud just recently because of what he was saying in his comedy special on Netflix. And what I'm trying to say is this: I feel like I've always said this, and I continue to say this. Comedy, man, is such a fucking thing. And I said this on my last episode. I think I said I talked about I show a lot of love to Jon Stewart because Jon Stewart just I didn't know how much Jon Stewart was really in my life, most of my life. Um, but I never watched the Daily Show, but it's crazy that I've always seen Jon Stewart in certain movies that I love, like Big Daddy, of course, with Adam Sandler and all that shit. But then you see the people he put on. It's kind of crazy to see Jon Stewart have that much of an appeal and a wide range of appeal. And, you know, to watch comedians fight for what they love, man. That's a very interesting thing, man. And I feel like I've always felt this way, and I've said this numerous times in podcasts, other podcasts, and all this stuff. Oh, either on Dark Therapy Sessions or on this one. I feel like comedians are the first line of freedom of speech. I feel like once a comedian goes, then all of freedom of speech is going with it. Because if a comedian can't say what they feel, and here's how crazy this is. They have to live. They lived a dark fucking life. We don't realize how bad comedians went through shit to get to the point where they could laugh about it and tell you about it to make you laugh about it. And you sit in the crowd and say, "Ooh, I thought my life was fucked up. This nigga here found a way to make himself millions off that shit." And he still had to live through that shit. And he still gotta probably still live through that shit. He probably got PTSD. We don't even ask these motherfuckers if they got PTSD from the stories they tell us. We don't even ask them. And I feel like comedy, man, is such a beautiful thing when it's done right. And that's the thing. When it's done right, it's the best fucking thing in the world. Like Andrew Schultz does it right. Odyssey D does it right. A Big J Okerson does it right. A Dave Chappelle does it right. A Roy Wood Jr. does it right. You know what I'm saying? Like comedy is such a very important thing. And for me, I love comedy because I do a podcast, and podcast is really just you sitting here like I am right now, expressing your thoughts and your feelings, and saying, "I hope somebody like it." I don't fucking know. I guess the difference between me and a comedian is that like I don't have the visuals of people's faces saying that was funny. No, that was funny. That was actually really funny. I don't have it. So I had to just go off of the viewership on the listens off of the fucking apps that I'm on or YouTube. But for a real comedian, I feel like when somebody is telling you that they're gonna buy your special and give you an opportunity, it's an opportunity. Fuck the money. It's a more of an opportunity to be seen by millions that probably have never really physically seen you before, or have heard of you but never physically seen you. And then they come back and tell you that that might offend people because that may go over people's heads. It's like, why are you trying to block the authenticity of a real comic? Like a real comic should be as authentic as they can be because that's the fucking point of it. I'm not physically trying to make you feel bad. I'm trying to make you laugh and hopefully you leave and driving in your car you say, I was stressing about something before I went to that show. After hearing that, I'm not really that fucking worried. I'm not really that fucking worried. I'm not as worried as I thought I was. Or like, damn, I thought I had it bad. You can't block storytellers, man. You can't block the art. The art is going to live regardless. The problem with this shit is you want the art to come from the people you want the art to come from. Some safe, careful, I plan this shit out person. And guess what? The best art doesn't come from that. It doesn't fucking come from that. Me, I can tell you, I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna talk about till I get in like the mindset of it. I have been struggling for like 3 fucking days on trying to like come up with a mindset to do a podcast because I knew I had to do something for these next couple episodes, and I had no fucking clue what the fuck I was doing until just a moment ago. That's the thing. Like it's that. I hope that you leave comedians alone. Real comedians, true telling fucking comedians. Leave them the fuck alone. To Andrew Schultz, to Ali Sadiq, to Dave Chappelle's, to Roy Wood Jr., to any comedian that y'all love and y'all fuck with, I would hope that they keep that fuck it, I do it on my own. And because that's another reason why I love comedy so much. Because there's a lot of motherfucking comedians that's like, fuck y'all, I do it on my own. And that's kind of how I feel. It gets to that point where you just like, I can literally sound with anybody and I can do podcasts with anybody, but it's also at the same time, if it doesn't work with who I am as a person and it goes against what I believe in my heart of hearts, then fuck it, I do it on my own. And clearly it's worked for 199 episodes. So I guess I've done something right. Who knows? Um, and I hope you guys, like I say all the time, hope you guys enjoyed this episode because my next episode is my 200 one. So See you there.